Okay, welcome everybody to Coffee and Art on a Friday, TGIF. So I've already kind of discussed some of the things this morning with the girls before I hit record. I want to kind of say a couple things because it's kind of frustrating. All right, so y'all know I worked on part one and part two of my Dragon Tales, the Anastasia color book, right? Well, first I did a flip through of the blank book, then I did this, then did part one, then I did part two on Wednesday, did a little hair demo for the other page, for this page. Part two, where I did all this, will not upload to YouTube. It will not upload. I tried 5 times. And that happens to us all at some times when we're on Ustream. Sometimes there's a glitch or whatever in the files, and it will not upload to YouTube. Doesn't happen often, but it does happen. And unfortunately, it happened on part two of my Dragon page. You can go over on Ustream and watch it. It is on Ustream, but you cannot watch recordings on Ustream on a device without, and Jean said it's called puffin. You can watch live on your phone and your devices and everything, just going and watching live. But to watch recordings on Ustream, you can watch them on your computer all day. That's how I watch all my recordings on Ustream, is on my computer. But if you want to watch it on your iPad, your phone, whatever, you've got to have just having the app is not enough. Sorry, let me take another sip of coffee. It's not enough to watch recordings. So if you want to watch part two of the Dragon, you have to go to Ustream to watch it. So what I think I'm going to do is over the weekend, I am going to do a non-live show where I rehash everything I did verbally. I'll just describe everything I did on part two and update everybody and then finish the book. Because that's all that's really left on the page is the book, the leather itself, and then I'll just record that, and hopefully this one goes up to YouTube without any problem. So anyway, there's the update on part two. People are texting me, messaging me, where's part two? I can't do anything about it. I tried 5 times, 3 times on Wednesday, 2 times on Thursday. It will not upload to YouTube for whatever reason, and we don't ever know why. So there's the update on the Dragon Tales coloring book page. And maybe I'll work on the princess, on this one as well on the weekend. Maybe I'll do another demo with the hair because that was on there. So maybe I'll work on the book and record finishing her as well, all on a separate video. So there's the update on that. But this Friday morning, I do not feel like verbally describing everything we did on part two. So I'm going to wait till the weekend. Yeah. So I got my certificates, my karate certificates done, and they came and picked them up this morning. So as soon as we're done here, I'm going shopping. Okay, so I have been trying to add some more stuff, and I'm going to do another flip through here. This is my extra thick binder and I just put some stuff in there, and I didn't quite get the loop on some of these. Hang on. Here. This is where the issue is right here. I've been adding some more stuff okay, I got to fix this. To my syllable binder, which is a bunch of stuff gathered together of all our stuff and put in page protectors and stuff to use on our syllable. And I don't, that's just what I'm calling syllable pages because it's not a planner, it's not an art journal, it's kind of a combination of all that and using all this stuff that we have, for all these years. And there's plenty of other people that do stuff like this. There's junk journals. Somebody mentioned flow journals where you use your stuff in journals, and they're calling it flow journals because you're using flow stuff. I'm using flow stuff, but I'm also using Daphne's diary, stickers, Um, I'm going to flip through here and show it again. So this is part of the Society of Idea Collectors for 2018. And I'm calling it syllables because you're using little parts of things to make a whole. And I'll show you the pages I have so far and where I'm going. Okay, so any questions so far? I got to take a breath. So this is one of the Daphne's diaries that I have. I don't know what issue it is. Number 6. I don't know. It doesn't say what month. I think it's the one before the new one. Yeah, it doesn't say a month. It just says number 6, 2017. So anyway, I'm going to show that and what I'm using in my pages. I'll show a couple pages. I'm working on some pages and all that. So hope that's interesting to you. Yes, it's a kid's kitchen sink of journaling. Exactly. I did get me a new pair of Subi scissors for 50% off. I thought I was buying, I don't know why I didn't think to, I like the Teflon ones. Here's my old ones here. Where are they? Here's my old ones. The Teflon ones. You can see how crusty they are. I've had these for years. And they're just, I got so much paint and glue, and I know I can clean some of it, but they're just like, these are probably, oh gosh, at least 10 years old. And I had another pair, and they got lost. So I bought me a new pair, but these are just the stainless steel ones. They're not the Teflon ones, which that's fine. They're nice and sharp, and they cut really well, since I'm doing a lot of fussy cutting. Hey, Eileen. Okay, I haven't got the new one. I'm probably going to go to the bookstore after I'm done here. Get out of the house. Oh, did I go out this week? I don't even. Yeah, I went out. I followed Hubster to go take the car and pick it up, the truck that he got out of the shop. So yeah, I did get out of the house this week, but. Okay, so before I start showing you some more things that I've gathered, including some cutouts. I tore out a bunch of sheets out of this tattoo color book. If y'all remember a couple years ago when Darcy Glam was here and we both went to Books A Million and we both got this book. It's a big, thick book and it's all tattoo designs and stuff. And they're one-sided and they're just multiple things on a page. There's not like a page to color. They're things to color. Yes. Oh, good, Jerry. Yeah. And so I tore out a bunch of things out of it. Here's some Celtic knots and things. It's just some roses, just all kinds, some wings, birds. I love this right here. And so I'm going to use these in my syllable journal. But I just wanted to show you that, if you have one of these color books, it could be just designs. It could be mandalas. It could be, the little books of fairies and elves and things like that. That they're just, it's not a page. They're just a whole bunch of designs. Well, these kind of books are perfect. I have one on flowers and leaves and nature. You can use all those on your pages. So there's that, and I got some here going. See here, got this going here. Got some washi. I drew, I painted a whole page of yellow paper, and then I cut out some lemons. Just free-handed. They're just some shapes. And these are going to be like seeds in the middle. I'll probably do some outlining around it. So these are just some lemons. and my quote, you make up your own stuff, right? And these are some leaves out of a color book. One of the nature color books, see? This kind of thing. These are awesome to use on your pages. So I'm probably going to say something like, when life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade, grow your own lemons. Something like that. Anyway, so I have that working. All right, so a real quick update because I was going to put Jean's link, and I talked about the New Year's Eve Streamathon on that video that did not upload. So I'm going to go ahead and say a little bit about it here, and hopefully this video uploads. So on New Year's Eve, for 24 hours prior to, whenever in the world New Year's happens, we have streamers that we've done this for quite a few years we all get together, and Jean, which is the musicalscrapper.blogspot. I thought it was CA, but it's just .blogspot.com, Jean. When I saved it. Anyway, and I'll put the link in the description of this video because the other video didn't upload. And so you can go see Jean is putting together the schedule for the Streamathon. So what happens is we'll, some of us will take 2 hours, some might take an hour, and we go through across the world. There's some in Australia. Hopefully Jen will be in on it, Jean, and some others. UK, all around the world. And what we do is as the time goes through the world, we are streaming for 24 hours. And we, do art projects and, all kinds of things. It's just fun. So let me make sure my chat is not froze. There it goes. And so I wanted to talk about that and start talking about, Denise is calling. Hang on a minute. Hey, I'm streaming. What's up? Okay, can I call you back in a little bit? Okay, well, is there anything major? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, honey. And are they still planning on coming next week? Coming over next week? Well, that's what I said. I was thinking that too. All right, I'll call you back later. Oh, good. Okay, yeah, do that because then they can do that while they're here next week. Bye. Okay. All right, that's my daughter talking about the grands. Hopefully they're going to be here this next week. If they are not here next week, we'll try to do a stream with them here. Maybe we can get Cameron to draw or Boo to do something. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how busy it is. Okay, so. Oh, good, Pacola. Prisma said this will be a streamathon, not a stream. Yes, exactly. Yeah, don't tell Janet. Um, it's blogspot.com in US and .ca in Canada. Okay, thanks, Jean. Okay, so yeah, if you're, yeah. So, and she'll have a schedule on there. But we always, during the streams, we'll tell everybody, the next one coming up. And then you can have the schedule to go to the links to individual streamers as we change streams. Okay, so I have a plan. I have a plan for a giveaway for what I want to do, and this is tentative, so we'll see. But I wanted to do a giant book. I have this giant paper, and I want to do a giant book for a giveaway. I can't even get it under camera. It's like 20. What did I say it was? 22 inches. Let's see, this is 18. Yeah, 20 and a half, I think. 20 and a half inches long. And it's a huge sheet of paper folded 4 times. So I think it's 20, where I had it written down here. 20, it's almost 30 inches wide. Okay, the paper. It's almost 30 inches wide. And I folded it into 4 sections. I have this elastic ribbon as just holding them together. So 5 sheets folded 4 times makes 40 sheets in this signature. So I wanted to do something with this and do a giveaway on the Streamathon. So that's the plan. So you see these open up. Let me see if I can do this. This opens up and every page folds out. Now I could also take this side and fold it the other way if I want, so that this opens up this way. You see what I mean? See what I mean, Vern? So this can either open up this way, or something just fell off the refrigerator or something. I wonder what the cat's doing. I just heard a sound down there. Or it can go this way. Okay. So it's a huge book. Hey, Lynn. Anybody else? And so I want to do something with this and do a giveaway. The only thing is I talked about this before I hit record, is if somebody in UK, Canada, Australia wins the drawing for it, I'm going to have to cut this down because I can't, to send something, 24, 5 inches long in the mail cost me $50 and I can't do that. So I'm going to have to cut it down. So my plan might be this. I'm going to probably decorate the whole thing, or spray it, spritz it, scrape some paint on, just make some backgrounds, maybe a little collage. I don't have that worked out yet. Okay. This is for the New Year's project. And what I'll do is if someone out of country wins it, I'll go ahead and cut it down and then send them this little part and the big part. Because all I'm going to do is wrap this whole thing like with shipping paper or something like that and send it, whoever wins. But yeah, it's just way too long to ship international. So I'll just maybe cut off, 5 or 6 inches off the back end and then you'll have 2 little books. Does that make sense? So I think that's what I'm planning on doing for New Year. So this is my Streamathon project. So far, unless I come up with something better. Okay, so now back to the Syllables journal, and it got dark in here again. Let's open the blinds back up. Okay, so back to the Syllable journal. This is the collection of stuff. And then I have my journal where I do my pages. This is or notebook, a binder. Let's just call it a binder. Then I have my binder with my finished pages. This will have no little bits in it. This will just have finished pages in it. And then this binder, which is a 3-inch binder, the other one was a 2-inch binder. This one has all the bits in it. So I'm just going to do a little flip. I've kind of revised it since last Monday when I first showed it. And all it is, guys, I'm calling it a syllables project because you just take little parts of a word and make a whole. Well, that's kind of what we're doing here. We're taking little parts of things that we have accumulated. It doesn't have to be in a binder. And trust me, all my stuff is not in this binder. I showed you I have bins, tubs, boxes, drawers full of ephemera, collage bits, stickers. I have bags of stickers and stencils. But what I did in here is I just took a couple. Like, for instance, I have like 4 of these plastic these plastic things full of stickers. Okay, I got at least 4 of them, maybe more. And that doesn't include the little box of tiny stickers. So I have tons of these. I am not putting all this in this binder. What I did is I put 1 sheet or 2. I cut up 1 sheet and put that in here. And that's to remind me, you have all these stickers. Okay? Same thing for stencils. I have tons of stencils. All in these plastic 12 by 12 plastic, scrapbook things, right? I put 2 or 3 little stencils in here just to remind me to use your stencils. Same thing for washi tape. I've got trays and trays and trays of washi tape. They're not all going in here. What I did is I put some of the washi tape on these plastic dividers. And I did add a couple extra ATC sleeves in here to add more little bits. So last Monday I had a bunch of cardstock and notebook paper that I had painted on in here. I have since took that stack of papers out. I don't need it in here to remind me that I have painted papers. But I have done a couple other little things I'm working on. Like, here's one of the painted papers. This was a painted yellow paper. It's just, copy paper. And I painted the whole sheet yellow. And then I cut out, just freehanded, some lemons. And so I got a little lemon project going on here with these leaves. And it has this bee here. This bee has purple, so I might go with purple and yellow. I have a little bit of green on there. I don't know. I got this green washi tape out. So I have a project page for this. Now remember what the idea behind the syllables pages is to take an old calendar, well, a new calendar. Let me say this. Let's take a dollar calendar or two, because you might have more than one thing for a day. Or you can make your own squares, your own little day squares. You can make larger day squares. And I'm going to show you that here in a minute on a couple pages that I've done. And make it like your planner, art journal, writing journal. You can write your quotes, your notes, everything you do in journaling, okay? Everything we've all done in journaling and planners and stickers and washi tape. But you'll just make your own planner page, if you will. And last Monday I talked about doing like one cardstock page a week, which I'm going to show you the ones I have going. One cardstock page a week with all, 5 or 7, however you want to do your planner. And you can move your little squares around wherever you want and do one page a week. And then have special days. That's why I said maybe have 2 cheap planners, calendars that you can cut up. You can get them at Michael's and stuff like that for $1. And again, I'm starting early to show you. You can start now too. But I'm starting it now so that by 2018, we're rolling into this. We got everything ready to go. Okay? And you don't have to do it exactly like mine. You can use any book you want. I just find that a binder is the easiest thing because you can take the pages out. You can work on a page, a cardstock page. Then you can put it back in. You can move things around. You can add things. So let's say you do a couple of weeks. You do week 1, week 2. Whatever, and then you have an event that happens, say Thanksgiving. You want a special page for Thanksgiving and talk about, journal who was there, what you ate, grandma's recipes, whatever. Well, you don't want that. Maybe you do on your main week 4 of November. You might want it to have its own special page. Okay? Does that make sense? If y'all have any questions, just ask. Okay, so I'm going to flip through here and show you what I've got going so far. Quotes and verses and all kinds of anything. This is your paint chips. And to use as tabs. The only reason I have them in here is to show you guys and to show you how you can use them as tabs. So they're just loose in here, right? So I got, you get these at, your home store, Home Depot, Lowe's, whatever. But what you can do is you can take these little paint chips and these can be your tabs. I recommend doing a tab. And I'm doing a tab and a paper clip. You don't have to do that. But I recommend doing a tab and a paper clip on every page. That way, if you have a full year in your binder, which if you only did 1 page a week, you'd have 52 pages in your binder, right? Of course, most of us are probably going to want to do special pages, like I did the one for Veterans Day, right? That'll be filed under November. So you can make these, I'm going to start November, December, but January, February, make them all through the year. Have one tab a month, and then maybe side tab your week, or side tab your months, maybe with plastic file folders from like Staples, right? Plastic file folders. Maybe tab your months here and tab your weeks here, or tab your month and your week in between. It's totally up to you. Y'all know how to do planners and journals and all that. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that you can use, these work great for your own tabs. Right, and they come in every color, literally every color. So you can make your own little tabs. Okay. Here's some other. These are paint chips here. that I cut down. This is one paint chip, but I cut it down to make it a flap tab, you know, like this. It's a paint chip, but just cut with, I use a corner chomper, but you can just cut it with the scissors and then fold it in half, and so you can make your tabs with paint chips. Is there a tag for this? No, I'm just calling it Syllable Journal. Society of Idea Collector Syllables. You know, Syllables. That's what I'm calling it. Prisma said, for all the newbies here, Dee Dee's Ustreams cause lucid art dreams, low fun syndrome, and I gotta have this itis. These are common symptoms, and I love it. Prisma. Okay, and then also, you know, you can get these little stickable tabs at Staples, you know, these kind of peely tabs. You can get these kind of tabs. You know, I'm putting this together especially for you guys to see the options, right? These are ATC card, baseball card sleeves, 9 pocket sleeves. There you go. You can see it there. If y'all have never done ATCs, they're artist trading cards, 2.5 by 3.5, and it's the same size as baseball cards or playing cards, and you know, these are the pages. You can get these at Walmart, you know, Office Supply, and yeah, I think they're just called collectible sleeves or something like that. Okay, so what I've done is on these dividers is they're pure on plastic. So what I did is I took a bunch of my washi tapes and put them on, and I got some blank sleeves in here. I put them on here so that just, you know, have it handy. If I don't have every washi tape in front of me, if I just have this and I say, oh, I want some of this, I can just take it and I can peel up some of it, because, you know, it's plastic, so it's not going to lose its sticky, right? So you have some washi tapes, and I did put as many as I could on all of them, just to have them there because they look pretty. Oh, so anyway, and again, I have plastic sleeves in between because I know I'm going to have, this is a business card size. Let me tilt it so you can see. This is a business card. They come, you know, and Project Life has every kind of, you know, sleeves too. I also have a big 12 by 12 binder, kind of the same thing going on, but that's my personal binder. This one's for you guys. Okay, so yeah. Oh, here's one of my things I was going to use. So anyway, if you want to use these are another kind of dividers that have pocket. I just wanted to show you some of the topics you could do in your collecting, in your syllables collecting. Okay, that's what this book is. Don't forget to to use your Post-its. This one has a pocket, and I have spring things. This one's summer. This one is winter. No, this one's nothing. This one's winter. And then fall. Oh, fall's here. So, and I just have different little tabs and pockets. You make it yours. If you like plastic dividers, if you like whatever you like, y'all know what you like. Okay, so this is, and by the way, this whole show is going to be just kind of like a studio update. I updated you on the Dragon Color Book. I'm going to show this. I'm going to just show you some ideas. I talked about the Streamathon. So it's not really any specific thing. And we might end up doing something, but who knows. Okay, so these are kind of cool because they have a side pocket here. Okay. And they're all the different colors of the rainbow, so you can label these whatever. You could label these your months, you know. So, and then these are papers that I've cut out either out of flow or scrapbook papers, cut down, use bits of them. And so I'm just going to talk about some of the things that I've collected in my binder. The binder is huge. It is 3 inches. And this does not hold my pages. My pages are in another binder. Now, that being said, you do not have to do one of these. You do not have to do a binder of syllables. if you have all your stuff organized, you have your collage in one bin, you have your ephemera in another box, you have your stickers in your plastic 12 by 12s, you got your stencils and binders already. You don't need to do all this, okay? You do not need to do all this. This is, for me, it's an easy way to have some bits out, some syllables, ready to use, and also to remind me what I do have. I might be working on something and go, oh, I should have used a stencil. Well, see, I have a couple of little stencils in here. That will remind me. The washi tape, remind me. Use your washi tape. Stickers, letter stickers, whatever it is that you forget to use, even if you just put one in a book to remind you. Color book pages, again. This is one of the pages I'm working on here. These are out of a color book. Okay. This color book right here, the tattoo coloring book. I pulled out a bunch of different designs that I like out of this book to use. This is one of those books that just have a bunch of designs in them that are really cool, just to use bits of them, parts of them, and just make them a syllable on your page. So, you know, that's another way to use your color books. No questions, sip of coffee. Yeah, I have one of those old magnetic albums in pages in here. I threw all mine away, but I did keep a few to use for little tiny words, and I have that in here too. If you have those old magnetic, well, they're called magnetic, but they may be actually more magnetic now, but back then they were kind of sticky, and they turn your photographs brown over the years. If you have your photographs in those, I highly recommend you get them out, because if they're not already brown, they will be. Those were not acid free. Maybe the ones they make now are acid free, but those back when were not. But they're an awesome way to keep tiny words. Okay? All right, so here's color book pages. And I have them doubled, and tripled up in here. So I have a whole bunch of different color book pages in here. Some of these fashion flower girls, and the Art Deco girls, and just a whole bunch of different color book pages that I can use and cut up. This reminds me, even if I don't use these girls, I remember, oh yeah, I got that nature color book with all those pretty flowers in it. Let me get that out and cut some of those up, right? Again, more color book pages. Let me see if I can get back under the camera. Why am I crooked here? Oh, I think it's because my camera's crooked. Yeah. Prisma says food, oxygen, toilet paper, all overrated. Pencils, markers, and paints. These are the true staples of life. Yeah, there's a quote. I don't remember who said it, but it was something about and people that read, Jen and whoever else is here that reads, you know, booktubers. There's a quote, something like, I buy my books. If there's anything left over, I eat. And my favorite is Groucho Marx's, he said, outside of a dog, oh no, see, how's it go? I always get it mixed up. Outside of a dog, a book is a man's best friend. Inside a dog, it's too dark to read. Love that. And these are from clip art books. So I got clip art books. This is out of either a flow. Yeah, this is out of a flow. But I showed stuff like this that have something already on the page. Use this as your background to make your page. So let's say you do gardening. This would be an awesome journal page to journal your gardening on. So you might have everything you planted, you know. Now, gardeners that are true dedicated gardeners probably have their own notebook for gardening, a whole book just for gardening. But if you just plant a little like I do, I have a square foot, well, it's an 8 by 12 by 12. It's a 12 by 12 garden made with railroad ties. However long a railroad tie is, 12 feet. Is that right, Janet? Gardening. Anyway, so I have railroad tie garden. So if I plant something, I could write down, peppers, cucumbers, whatever I plant, and I could just even just write. If all I did was write, harvested on this date, this one started blooming or growing on this, you can write on this. You can actually write on your paper. Or if you're afraid to do that, and you're afraid you're going to mess it up, use one of the little Project Life cards. Let me grab something here. They have these kind of things like this. Your Project Life cards or scrapbook papers that are lined, squared, gridded, and put, use that as your base for your page. I'm going to throw that in there. Okay. 8 foot, they're 8 foot. Okay, so I have a 8 foot by 8 foot garden. Thank you, Janet. Yeah, my son-in-law got those got those for me. Anyway, so same thing for these. Here's flowers. You could use, if you have a flower garden, doesn't have to be that you grow these particular flowers, but you can journal on here. You can use your lines. You can put your own lines here, and I showed that on one of my partially done pages. You can just draw your lines here and journal, or like me, I don't draw, most of the time, I don't draw lines. I just freehand write. I write real tiny, so, I could just write in there. You could write over here, dates, times, farmer's almanac, facts. Get you a farmer's almanac, and you could fill a whole journal a year just with the farmer's almanac information. So if you don't know what to do. So now I got some blank ones in here. These are just the Staples page protectors with a piece of cardstock in there so that it makes it double-sided. Some of these I started to either use a glue stick or my tape runner to just stick things as I came across them. It was quicker when I was putting this binder together for you guys. It was quicker for me just to take my tape repositionable dots, glue dots, repositionable, and put a dot on there and stick it on here. But I found that works okay, but I tried to do it with a glue stick because I was getting in a hurry and I had hundreds of these. So I just tried to stick them with a glue stick and I was in a hurry. So some of them I didn't put enough glue, but a glue stick will work to hold your bits down. Your syllables. It'll work to hold your syllables on a page protector as long as you put enough on there and kind of twist them on so they kind of stick. If you just try to go and stick, you're going to find you're going to go back and they're going to fall off. Okay? You could probably use double-sided tape too. So here's some more space for some more. And then I have, these are cut out of, this was I think a clip art. These were out of a book, and I had used these last week to show you, so they're just sitting here. Print them out, or these are partially colored and ready to cut out, and use on your pages. So you can see I got some of those going on. Again, color book pages or your clip art pages. These are my little faux ephemera. I think these are the Tim Holtz ones. And what I like about them, they're cardstock like, but they're not thick cardstock. They're not like chipboard. Some of those ephemeras can be really thick. If you get too many of those in your yearly binder, it's going to really bulk up, which is fine. You've seen my fluffette, but I just have these stuck on here ready to go. And same thing for all these. I got words. Here's some of the stickers. Another page, ATC page in here for bits of syllables. And then I just put a few stickers in here just to remind me, don't forget, you got tons of stickers. Let's use them, right? Even if you don't match them. You don't have to have matchy stickers. In other words, you don't have to have one type or one color. You can mix and match them like I did on my robot page, which I'll show you that here in a minute too. This was out of the Flow book. It's got letters to cut out. More stuff from Flow and letters. Little bits of cards to use on pages. What did Janet say? I'm afraid to ask. Oh, she's working on the railroad all day long. So all these are stuck on the outside because, and if I want to use them, I can just pop it off with the glue. It's got the glue dot on there, and then, use it on my page. Okay. So, yeah, here's a calendar page just to remind me. You got tons of calendars. Let's use them, because I use them in collage all the time. So I'm not gonna forget to use. I won't forget to use my collage stuff. But if you want to remind yourself to use your collage stuff, just put something in here like this. That will just be a reminder. You could even write a note up here. Don't forget to use this arrow. And so that's what all this is. You can make your own lines with scrapbook paper, graph paper, ledger paper, book paper. You can make all your own lines. So when you make your planner, you can make your own lines or draw your own lines. Here's where I put a couple stencil bits in here. just to remind me to use those stencils, right? So I put a couple of those in here. Again, scrapbook papers. I got this awesome pad. Let me see here. Where is it? Wait a minute. It's under my table here. And I've been cutting this up to use. It's Pretty Petals. And this is a Paper Studio Hobby Lobby brand. Get them when they're 50% off. So they have Paper Studios like at least once a month, all Paper Studio projects, and that includes their scissors, their anything Paper Studio, the Hobby Lobby brand, at least once a month or so. They have a 50% off all Paper Studio brand. So that includes scrapbook papers, like I said, scissors, ribbons, washi tape, anything with the Paper Studio brand. This is an awesome pad of paper to use to cut up. So you can see I've already started cutting things out here, but I'm just going to flip through a little bit of this. And y'all, I know you guys. Everybody here has got scrapbook paper that they don't use. But look how pretty. And you could either, cut out in more detail. Oh, wait. Whoa. Why am I using these? I bought a new pair of scissors. Where are they? I bought a new pair of scissors, and now I can't find them. Oh, here they are. I bought a new pair of scissors just for this. And I'm using these old crusty things. Okay, so... and you could, use the leaves or whatever. I'm just going to do a sample one here. So I'm just going to quickly fussy cut this, just the flower out. I'm not even going to cut the buds out, okay? Got a brand new pair of scissors, and yeah. Oh, Picola, when we are just in design phase, we can take the magnetic page and move stuff around until we get it the way we like. Then take a cheap set of expo markers to write on the outside of the page for more designing. Take a photo and transfer it to our page. Yeah, and that's kind of what scrapbookers used to do, not with the magnetic page, but with camera. They take pictures of their pages, lay them out, and you could do that with collage too. I just don't. I guess because I've done so much collage, I just remember pretty much, not exactly, but pretty much where everything goes. But if you are trying to learn composition and design, that's a great tip, Picola. A great tip. So again, see how pretty that is? I mean, that's just a beautiful flower right there for a page. Okay, so I'm just going to flip through this. And I've just torn out, see, I've used some. I've torn out, I haven't even torn out every design. I tore out quite a few designs. I'll do a flip though. See, look, those peonies. Yellow roses. I did use one of these yellow roses on that yellow and purple page I started. And I'm going to try to show y'all my pages, some in progress, some more done, some finished, so that you can see the different ways and things that you can use. And again, guys, if you're in the Society of Idea Collectors, be writing this stuff down. Write it down. Even if you don't do it exactly like I do, which I know you won't. Write the ideas down on how you want to do things and how you know, how you want, what kind of things you want to use. I have, let me show you here. So the last week, last Monday, I had this page done. And I've added more things. So since Monday, just sitting while watching TV, things come to me. Look, this is what I've done since Monday. All that since Monday. Because ideas just keep coming to you. But you got to write them down. You got to write them down. So, yeah. In your Society Idea Collector's notebook, composition book, whatever you're using, right? So this one was really pretty. It looks like it's got a fold or something in it. That would take you a year to do. But I just write it down as it comes to me, guys. So these are all pages that I've torn out. So now let me just do a flip here of all the pages, because I haven't torn out every design. I just tore out some. So let me just kind of flip here just so you can kind of see. I think there's 3 of each page. 3 of each page. And I'm doing it sideways, so. See, like this one I've torn out, so there's only 2 of them in here. But look. Aren't they pretty? And this is nice cardstock. This is not thin paper. Although, technically speaking, the thin papers will work better for you in the gluing and making your weekly pages. Making your weekly pages would probably be good if the paper, and you can get these kind of papers that are really paper thin. This is not heavy cardstock, but it's not the thin stuff either. It's kind of in between. I know, aren't these beautiful papers? So when you look at this big one, this will go, one of these will go in my 12 by 12 syllables. And you can do your syllables any size you want. If you'd rather do larger pages per week. And again, guys, trust me, these binders, these planners of mine do not go out of the studio. I mean, they might go to the bedroom while I'm watching TV and I'm doodling or something. I don't carry, these are not carry-outs. These are not carry-alongs. You get your traveler's journals for that. These do not travel, right? So when I got a huge 3-ring, 2-inch, 3-inch 12 by 12 binder that's packed full, they're not going anywhere. Right? They're just for me. They're for my own personal recording, my own personal thoughts, and, you know, whatever I do. So, yeah. Somebody asked me that on one of my other portable journals. They said, do you take that anywhere? Okay, so that one's called Petals, Pretty Petals. Paper Studio Hobby Lobby brand, but there's tons of these, guys, trust me. Okay, so now let me put that back under there and keep flipping. Again, here's some squares. You could cut these out, you can punch them out. Same thing for your day square. I will probably use the calendar pages, and sometimes I'll cut my own out. You can use your, if you don't want to cut a calendar up, that's too much trouble, which I can't imagine if you're doing this. Cutting a calendar up's not going to be too much trouble. and color the edges or whatever you want to do. You know, the other option is to, if you keep a 12, if you keep a big calendar, at the end of the month, do 4 pages, 3 or 4 pages at the end of a month, and just cut the calendar up that you've been using all month. So you'll have everybody's birthday and everybody's, the information that you might want to keep in a planner. And because this is more for memory keeping, guys, than it is for actually planning things out. I mean, you still plan things out, and you work out ideas and you get ideas. That's why I'm connecting it to the Society of Idea Collectors, because it's idea collecting, but I wouldn't really call it a daily diary planner thing. you know, because you're not going to carry this around. Okay, sorry, Connie. Try refreshing. Okay, so these are the little Tim Holtz people, ephemera pack. And then I have this paper that had these speech bubbles, so I'm going to use them in conjunction with this. I might do something, like let's say I did something, again, this has just got a repositionable glue dot on it. Let's just say I did something about me and my sister. Okay, look, wouldn't that be cute? Look, one of those speech bubbles. I mean, cut this out, cut this out and use it on the page. So, yeah. There's more here. Got lots of relatives. Then there's words. And here's where we get into the tinier stuff. And this is when it's good to have, like, this is one of the ATC baseball card sleeves. Little words like that fit in here. Okay, these I have just stuck down with the, repositionable, right? But you can put them in your sleeves like this. Okay, more here. Stickers and flow bits. See, this one came off. See, I'm so bad. I didn't stick it down well. So if you like the Flow, Daphne's Diary, any of those any magazine that has cool illustrations in it. Look, I didn't fussy cut these out yet. I just really quick cut them up and put them in here. So they're ready to use. Okay? All this. This, I showed this on Monday. These are, my daughter in California got me these map bags. They're bags and tags and things with globes and things on them. And don't forget, if you have a cutting machine. Look, here's got all this here. These are cutouts and things, tabs and tags and things from my Cameo. Well, there's one of those flowers. Tabs like this, geotags like this. All this little stuff like this you can use in your syllable binder. I keep wanting to say journal. I want to call it a binder. Okay, this is like out of a flow book. You can use this as a base and work on top of arrows, acetate pieces. I love black and white with a color, so I've kind of got that vibe going here. There's an old Valentine that I found in my collage, one of my collage bins. I spent a couple hours going through one big bin of collage and old stuff, and I pulled out a few things that I liked out of there. And then this is faux ephemera, and Project Life type cards. I figured this would be a good one for any of us. This would be a good base on a page. More little line things like tags and tickets and all those kind of things that have lines on them. So if you like writing your information and notes down on lines, these kind of things like this, stickers, tags, tickets, all that kind of stuff that have lines on them, those are good for that. These bits are out of a vintage collecting book. It was a book on people that collect things. This one was on bottle caps, marbles, and had great photography in it. Yeah, I cut it up, baby. That's where I got all those robots. Again, more just scrapbook papers and all kinds of ephemera here. I'm just going to kind of flip through so you can kind of see some of the stuff I have. Okay, here's one of those that Picola was talking about. It's one of those magnetic. It's really a sticky. It's really a sticky page that we used to put our photographs in. And I had done this years ago, back when I was doing ATCs. This isn't even sticky anymore. The only thing holding them in here is this. Where we would have little bits of, make your own poetry, ATCs and all that. And so this was a great way to keep those tiny, tiny little, in a little while the shoe was fixed. At last they came to the big mountain. I want to run from here to there. Suddenly he heard a whistle from a tree. That would have been Janet. Janet or Terry. But it wasn't a whistle. It wasn't a whistle. What it was it was Terry. What a lot there was to see. A home with lots of room. I will make some tiny coats for them. He's out of his cage today. So anyway, girls, little bits out of kids' books, in magazines or whatever, big nice words out of magazines. You like that, Terry? You can keep them on if you have any of these. If not, then just stick them in, a page protector or the ATC little pockets, right? Some graph paper, some notebook paper. This was out of a flow book. And today and it has a little wheel thing that turns. Magazines and the leftover sides of scrapbook papers. These are really awesome. If y'all never kept these, now I gotta say, I threw away. I actually won a contest in 2Ps years ago using these. They had 2Ps had a their yearly contest thing. And one of the contests was using scraps or something. So I did a whole scrapbook page using just these. And I glued them down and then tucked in little, like I had whole rows of these, right? On a 12 by 12 page. And then I took all my faux ephemera, ribbons, tags, and I just kind of tucked them in like that, and had a whole page of just tuck-ins. I won about $25 worth of free goodies on that page. So it was fun. Stickers. Again, these are stickers that you can color and cut out. Stickers, little quote pages. These make good backgrounds. And I've got these doubled and tripled up. There's a lot in here. Lots of flow book and stickers and cutouts, but I can still see them behind. So, yeah. Here's a whole set of paper dolls in one of the flow books here with all the clothes and everything. Don't know what I'm going to do with it, but, if I don't do something with that in my syllable binder, then it's never going to get used. I'm never going to scrapbook a page with this little kid. I barely scrapbook. I don't even remember the last time I scrapbooked. So, yeah, magazine things. And then here's like vintage bags, ledger paper, tags, old stuff, Here's a stencil. I put a piece of a stencil in here reminding me, use your stencils. Towel. I have been using my Michaels coupons every week. Lately, it never dawned on me to buy one thing I normally wouldn't pay that much for. My husband is getting very familiar with Michaels since I send him there for specific things. See, I can't get it. Well, once in a while, if I really want him, want some company, he'll go into Hobby Lobby or Michaels with me. Otherwise, he waits in the car. Or he'll go to one of the other stores, a sporting goods store that's next to Hobby Lobby or, something like that. You don't want to go in there. Some more papers out of magazines and cutouts. Okay, more papers and cutouts. A banner from Flow. These are papers out of the Flow paper book. Here are papers out of the Flow that are metallic. And I have tons of these. But I only put a few in here just to remind me to use them. Because I would never remember that I had these metallic papers. More stickers, cutouts and stickers. And some of these are really cool. I want to do a page on Texas. I grew up in Texas. And I want to do a Texas page with this. It's got a little place to write in there. But you can journal all in the sky here, So I want to do a page with that. There's 2 or 3 in here. pictures with vintage ladies using vintage typewriters. That's another one. Let's see. And then just some faux ledger paper, and then I have a couple more page protectors here. So that is the binder, the Syllables binder that I have to pull from. And even if it just reminds me to go to my big box of faux ephemera, if it reminds me to go to my letter sticker big pack, if it reminds me to go to my washi tape, whatever, even if it just reminds me, use stuff like this for tabs, then it's worth it to me. Because all it is a binder and some page protectors and cardstock and stuff that's just sitting around. Think of it this way too, guys. If you have old magazines that you've been, I don't want to say hoarding, but holding on to use someday. I did this with a lot of my Somerset Studio. Now not Somerset Studio, Somerset Publications. My Somerset Studios, I have them all still, but and the art journaling one too. But there's tons of those kinds of magazines that have so many beautiful cards and papers and things like that. Or even if you just like, even if it's just a fashion magazines that you like, whatever kind of magazines you like, gardening magazines. Sit down sometime when you're just sitting there watching TV and not doing anything else, get you a new pair of scissors, or just tear them out. Tear your sheets out of your magazine, and just, even if you just put them all in a page protector for the moment, you'll use them. You'll use them. See, it's a magnetic page. My husband doesn't have a choice. He's the wheelchair pusher and high show. Aw, yeah. Well, that's nice, Towel. Of course, that's exceptions to the rules, as always. When I never used, I didn't do scrapbooking when we had those magnetic pages, Picola. I just stuck pictures in them. Or Mom gave me, pictures that were in albums that had those kind of pages. And I've taken them all out. I have big dresser drawers full of pictures. And I even gave, from Hubster's side of the family, huge boxes and drawers full of pictures that his mom left us that we don't even know who they were. I did go through all of those because there's Hubster, his brother, and two sisters. And of course, they're married and have kids. And my nieces and nephews now are grown and have kids, right? And so one year I went through as many of those boxes and drawers that I could and divided up stacks of pictures for each of the 4 families. And then those 4 families could then pass those pictures down to their now grown children, right? I also, let me go get one of these. Hang on. Well, I can't find it right now. I don't know why. I thought this little, my little scrapbook was on the shelf with the big scrapbooks, but it's not. I made a little, I made everyone in the family. I made, this was back when Hubster's mom was alive. I made us one, his mom one, his brother, his 2 sisters, and I think a niece. I think I made, no, and I made one for Annie and Denise. So I made 7. I made 7 exact duplicate. I will never, ever, ever do this again. I made 7 exact scrapbooks, just those little 8x8, I think, this size, little square scrapbooks, and I did them all, 7 of them, exactly the same. So I had all the same pictures copied, all the same text, all the same information. And what I did is I did Hubster's back to his great-great-grandparents. The oldest photos that we have, I think there were 18 90 something. And so I made 7 of those. Mine is somewhere. I thought it was in there with the big, in the other room with my big 12 by 12 scrapbooks, but I don't know where it is. I'll have to find it, show it to you another time. Anyway, so duplicate that was really, I don't even know where I was going now. I lost my train of thought when I went hunting. When I went on that rabbit trail to find the book, which I don't know where it is. The only magazine you get is AARP. Well, go out and splurge and buy yourself a nice magazine, Eileen, knowing that you can cut it up and use it. But Eileen does all kinds of digi stuff, so she probably, So anyway, this, and then here are different journals and booklets and things from Flow. If I don't put them in here, I won't use them. So the same thing for my current issue of Daphne's Diary. So I have this in here. Now when I've completely gone through this, just like I do the Flow magazines, after I go through them, I trash them. I picked them clean like a crow on a carcass. So there's no sense keeping them. You could you could use these nice covers to make a booklet or a small journal or something like that. But after you have picked clean the magazines, then throw them away. So this, let me just show you here when I close it. It doesn't even really close all the way. It sits over here. See how thick it is? It sits over here on my side table, ready to pick from. You like that, Eileen, crow in a carcass? You see it down here all the time. Out in the country here. Oh, speaking of, the hubster told me yesterday, I think it was yesterday, maybe it was the day before, on his way to work, he goes, just want to let you know they're filming The Walking Dead right down the street. They film The Walking Dead, some of the sequences. A lot of them are in Sonoa and different parts around within a 30-mile radius of me. But there's some scenes that they use. There's a big section of highway, like 2 miles, maybe 3 miles from my house, that it's just not much traffic goes down there. It's like by the racetrack and the Atlanta Speedway, and because that's just not an area where unless there's a race going on, which then they wouldn't be filming. And they film down there, and they block everything off. They have police down there, and they have big trailers. You can't see anything. Even if you pulled off the side of the road and walked down, I said, we should go down there and sneak through the woods. And he said something like, yeah, just our luck, we'd be down there trying to spy out a Walking Dead filming, and there'd be some zombie makeup people in the woods popping out at us. Anyway. So I'm going to move this off my table here and bring over my actual book that I'll be putting my pages in. Okay, let me pull this over here again to remind you this. So again, this is just one of my calendars that I had from 2017. I've been trying to do a lot of things ahead of time for samples for you guys. Y'all know I can't hide nothing from y'all. If I have a project that's going to be in 2 months, y'all know I want to tell you right now. So, is this Puffy's Crushers? I don't know what that means, Prisma. I don't know what that is. Anyway, so they're just calendar pages, and I'm cutting out the squares. I have a couple of Novembers here. Here's December. I haven't done anything with, but the nice thing about using, and you can even just get those dollar calendars. Michael's, Staples. They always have like cheap, inexpensive. You don't have to go out and get the nice, $15 calendars. I get those when they go on sale for $3 the first week of February, and I get those for my collage. But you can get these really inexpensive, probably at the dollar store, and you can get different sizes. These squares happen to be, about 1 inch. You know, there's ones, desk calendars are huge. And you can also make your own. The nice thing about using the ones that are already printed up is they have all the events already on them. You know, they have the Veterans Day and, you know, Thanksgiving and Christmas. You know, they have all the holidays and everything's already printed on them for you. So when you cut these up, you've already got the holidays and all that. So, oh, you mean Fluffette? I missed something there, Prisma. Is your binder Puffet's brother? Oh, Fluffette's. Fluffette's brother, Puffer. Okay, I'm getting it now, Prisma. Don't give me another word to remember for my binder. I want to just remember syllables. Girl. Okay, so if you cut them up, you have these, and if you have a couple of them, then you have options for, you know, let's just say you do your week and you cut these a whole week out and you put that on one page, but then you have a special event like Christmas. You might want the 25 an extra page, you know, not just your regular week of planner days, but you might want an extra day 25. You know, I'll just make my own. You can have, you know, there's the square punch. I think I gave my square punch to Mom last time she was here. But, you know, you can punch them or just cut them large, you know, cut them this size, or, you know, make your own. Stamp it. You got date stamps, or just hand write them out. So, yeah, here's just some paper where I was making some of my own. So this is one. Oh, and I did already show you this, so I can put this away too. This is one of the color books with just designs all in it. You know, all kinds of tattoo designs. So I just pulled out some of this one. I'd already started coloring in the book, so I said, you know, whatever, I'll pull that out. So here's some Celtic knots, all different kinds of things, designs that I liked out of the tattoo book, and I'll put these in my syllable binder. Yeah, Fluffette, yeah. So those will go in there. So let me put this book back up on the shelf since I kind of worked that. But there's all kinds of ones like that. Like here, let me show you another one that you don't mind cutting up. Like here's this one here that I got those leaves out of. Inspired nature coloring. See, look, it's got, you know, leaves, birds, flowers. So I've cut some of these out. So those kind of books that you can get really inexpensive. They're always on clearance. I always see them on clearance at my Books A Million. Okay. So calendar pages or making your own. You can just take a ruler and make your own. So this is one of the pages that I had pulled to work on. And again, these are out of one of those nature color books. And then remember where I showed you last Monday where you can either splotch a start, or, you know, you don't have to do this ahead of time. And probably I would recommend you don't do a whole bunch of this ahead of time, because then come to find out you're going to say, oh, it's December. I don't want yellow in December. I want green. You know, I want red or whatever. So, you know, do it as you go. But I am going to tab every page I do. I'm going to tab it and or paper clip it. And speaking of that, I got some new paper clips and I went ahead and made some more. All right, so here's my bowl of small paper clip ribbon tabs. Okay, these are all different things that I've used. This one's a fabric one. Use ribbons. This is the larger one. Some of the larger ones are in here. They need to go over there. They're all just different paper clips with different ribbons, fabrics, and, you know, you get those color, you know, different color paper clips. I sent a whole bunch of them to Annie and Denise too, just to surprise them. So just a little, you know, all it is a piece of ribbon or fabric wrapped around, you know, slip knotted around some paper clips. These are the small ones. Well, then when I was out, I saw some pretty ones at Staples that were in colors. So again, these are the large ones. Do you make those? Yes, I do make them. I mean, I didn't invent doing it. All it is a piece of ribbon, guys, slip knotted onto a paper clip. That's all it is. Literally all it is. Here's this was a pretty ribbon. I really like that on that little shiny ribbon. And you can get ribbon all day long at Hobby Lobby and Michael and Joann's. You know, and they're always on sale. You know, 50 cents a roll. And you'll never want to use a whole roll because you'll get tired of it. Here's that stretchy ribbon that I used on my big book that I'm going to do on New Year's Streamathon. This is that ribbon, and I had bought a whole roll of it, probably for 99 cents. You know, here's the white with the little gingham ribbon on that one. Here's one with some sari silk stuff on it. What else is in here? Some of the like tulle type ribbon. You should put them in Ziploc so they don't get any dust on them. I use them. I use them. My ribbon. So let me set that aside. My actual ribbon. Hang on. Oh, I got knocked over all that. I used to keep, all right, hang on, let me move this. I used to keep my ribbon in those little plastic, like, you know, little button, you know, beads and button cases. And I had them all wrapped around at little cards and kept them all by color coding. I had a whole box of yellow and orange, another one with reds and purple, another one with light blue and light green, and I had stacks of those jewelry boxes. You all know what I'm talking about, those bead boxes where you keep all your beads and all the little cubbies, right? It had 20 or 25 little cubbies, and I had all my ribbon nicely wrapped. This is back when I was scrapbooking too. You know, we're talking a lot of years ago when I really was scrapbooking. And I'd keep them in there, and I had stacks of those bins of bead boxes with ribbon. And I would never use, well, not never, but I'd find myself going, oh, I got to dig out that box with the yellows in it. It was way, way too much trouble. So toward the end of my scrapbooking career, I started doing anything goes pages. Nothing had to match. Nothing had to go together. You could put a bicycle on a page with Grandpa. You know, it didn't have to go. It just, you know, I'd match color. I'd just throw all kinds of stuff on my pages, and I'll pull those out sometime again. It's been a while since I pulled out any scrapbooks. And yeah, bead boxes, Azure. Well, I found myself not using them because for me, it's got to be, that's why all my room is open shelves as much as possible so I can see everything. If it's hidden away in drawers and bins that are hidden away, I don't use it. So I took all my ribbon and I dumped it all in one big box. This huge thing, this is like 14 by 16. It's a huge box, and it's one of those 6-inch deep ones. See, it's one of those huge, it's one of I can't even get it under the camera. It's 6 inches deep, at least, maybe more. Wait, let me measure. It might be even bigger than that. Let's see. Let me get my ruler here. It is, yeah, it's a 6-inch deep one. And so I know some of y'all are going to go, clutch your pearls. Because of what I did, I know. So I took all my ribbons and I dumped them all in this bin. Now they are just 6 inches deep in here. Some are still on the cards. Some are still on the little cards. Look, all my ribbons are all there. See, look, there's some of those little cards. The little embroidery flosses and things. Here, see? All this ribbon used to be on these. and color coded and lined up like little soldiers in bead boxes. And the same thing for my buttons. I used to have all my buttons in little, in little bead boxes, all divided by color. Now, oh, I can't even get to it because I'll knock my magicals over. All my beads are in one of, not this deep of a one. It's in a box about this deep. One of these tubs. All my buttons are in one big tub, which is kind of cool to like flip through. If you're one of those that like the sound of, scraping through buttons. So anyway, yeah, this is my ribbons here. Every kind. See, look, they're still on. See, look, it's just, it's 6 inches deep. So if I want any kind of ribbon now, oh, I think I'll make a couple paper clips for you guys out of this because I love this stuff. This is some fabric. It's fabric that's been gathered, and these make real cute paper clips. So I'm going to make some of those. We'll do a giveaway. Okay, so I'm going to move this. Now where this sits is under the desk where I'm sitting, and I prop my feet up on it. So yeah, this is a footstool. Let me put it back under there. It is on top of another same size bin of collage stuff. Hang on, I'll pull that out if I can lift it. So it's the same size bin. It's like 14 by 16 and 6 inches deep. And this is the one I went through. This is the one I went through. I won't even close. That I went through last weekend to pull collage stuff for the syllable binder, because obviously I will not be digging through this big binder of collage, and this is some magazine stuff in here, but this is faux ephemera, this is my old Valentines from the kids that are left over. This is not just magazine stuff, this is all kinds of collage-y bits. Let's see if I can, no, I can't get it under the camera. Hang on, I got to pull it back to get it under the camera. So this is 6 inches full deep of every kind of book papers, book stuff, cutouts. So this is what I spent last weekend doing for you guys, going through all this. And putting it in a binder. So this is what I was saying earlier. You are not going to get every bit of stuff you own in a syllable binder. So if you pull some out, let me stack that back up. If you pull some out, you'll use, oh look, some old, you'll use some of it. You like your buttons in a tin? Yeah, because they sound cool? Yeah. Yeah, mine are just in one of those like that, but smaller. And I got to get back to this here in a minute. Okay. And also, even if you just have something like this to keep some bits in, some little, syllable parts, bits, cutouts, whatever, have something handy to use. This is an old Christmas card. What I do with Christmas cards is, if you like the pictures on Christmas cards, birthday cards, and you don't, you might want to keep the signatures. Like if your grandma signed your birthday card, keep her signature, even if you don't keep the card, okay? Keep some of grandma's, mom's, dad's, keep some of their signatures. But if you like the card, but you know how bulky they are. Now, greeting cards are awesome to make your own junk journals with. Make signatures with old greeting cards. But if you just like the pictures and don't want the whole card, take a card. Do I have one handy? Let me think for a minute. Where's the card? Let me think where I have one. Do I have an old greeting card in here? Probably. It's just not right handy. It's just not right handy. But what you do is take your take your greeting card, and on the corner just start rolling it. Start rolling the corner like that. Just roll the corners of the birthday card, Christmas card, and the picture will start to come off. Then you can peel off the picture, and it's paper thin. Okay? So you don't have to keep a thick card. You can just keep the picture. Does that make sense? So save the Christmas cards and birthday cards that you like, the pictures on them, by doing that. Hello. Okay, so back to this pretty ribbon here. Let me get, and in the bottom of here, I have the rest of my paper clips down here. Let's see. Let's get a couple pink ones here. Let's make, and then you get different kind of paper clips. Like there's this kind, your regular kind like this. And it got dark again. Dang. Hang on, guys. Let me brighten up because I went to a black background here. There we go. Let me make a few. Let me get some pink here. Make 4 or 5. Now, the ribbon that I obviously didn't use every bit of the ribbon. What I do is I'll keep one baggie handy of some of my favorite or newest ribbons, and I'll keep it in a baggie. So if I want to make some more, I can go here instead of that big tub. Okay. What's this? Oh, those are my stickers. Okay. So let's just make a couple of these. I'll just show you how. This is probably not the best example to show you because it's gathered. But I just cut off about, I don't know, what is that? 2.5, 3 inches. And why am I doing this again? I'm using these crap scissors. And all you do, I should show you with the ribbon, because that's not it's going to be hard for you to see. It's all the same type of slip knot, but it might be hard to see. Let me just get a piece of ribbon here to show you. Okay. All you do is you just take a little piece of ribbon, fold it in half, like this. Okay. This is just how I do it. You can put it on there any way you want. Like this. Take your paper clip, take your doubled over piece of ribbon, and just slip it into the top of the paper clip. Whoops. Slip it into the top of the paper clip. I just put my finger in the middle there. Take the 2 tails and just stick the tails into the ribbon, into the little circle, and just give it a tug. Like that. That's all it is. It's just a slip knot. Now, some shiny and some real slick ribbon might have a tendency to want to unknot. So you could just put on the back a little dab of glue right inside there to hold it. But that's only usually the real slick, real shiny ribbons that are going to give you any problem. Otherwise, that's all it is. That's all it is right there. And then, you can trim up the edges. Make it kind of pretty like that. That's all it is. So I'm going to do the same thing with this, but you're not going to be able to see me, do the slip knot because it's going to be so fluffy. But these curl up real pretty. You could probably just, something like this one, you could probably, let's just do that. You could just tie a regular old knot on something like this. Because it's so fluffy, it doesn't need to be pretty at the base because it's so fluffy. I just love these. And then, that's going to be kind of long. Now, maybe I do need to do the slip knot. Let me go ahead and I think it'll be neater. It'll lay flatter. Let me take that off and do the slip knot. Yeah, it's just a slip knot. And again, if you... if it's a slick, shiny ribbon, then do just put a little dot of glue in there. I made a whole bunch of them for Annie and Denise, and what I did is I just took a piece of cardstock. Hang on, I'll show you in a minute. Let's get these together and put them through this. There we go. And you can just kind of get it neat. And again, this one's kind of long here. See how curly that looks and cute? I love the way that looks. It looks like a bad haircut. I just love the way it looks fluffy. And then this, you know, it's a cute, even if it's just a bookmark. Yeah, let's get on a piece of paper. See how cute that looks? I just love those little gathered, this one might be a little long. I just love the gathered little fabric paper clips like that. So again, I just keep some handy here. Let's make another one. Oh, what I was going to say is with the cardstock, I just made a little card, like a little piece of cardstock about this big. Let me just use a Post-it note for an example. And I put, let me use the actual ones. I just put a whole bunch of them on the card like this. And they lay nice and flat inside an envelope. And I had it a little bit bigger. I think I got 8 in there. 8 on a card. And you just put them around the bottom. Let's get a different one here. It's a pink one. A different kind of paper clip. And maybe, let's get one of, like this. See, like this. And I sent that in an envelope. And that's just such a nice little surprise, isn't it? Oh, we'll do a giveaway with this right here. Okay. Except we'll put one of these on there. Let's take one of these off. Let's take this black one off and put this fluffy one. So I'll send this. I will do a little giveaway. Can we herd cats? Can we herd cats, Terry? Janet? Anybody here? I'll send this out to somebody. All right, let's make one more here. So they're so easy, guys. I sat and made this whole bowl in about an hour. I just had a whole, just had a bunch of ribbon, a bunch of new paper clips. And you can buy them at Staples in packs of, like, you can buy a whole pack of pink, a whole pack of one color, or you can buy multi-colors, But look how cute that is. I mean, look. Isn't that just adorbs? And I hardly ever use that word. But that's just adorbs right there. Okay, so there's that. All right, let me pick this up. And I'll put this ribbon in here. Do a quick giveaway. Oh, and the other thing, too, is that if you like to do little giveaways, and again, everybody, I've been giving away this. I've been doing this anyway. If you get a Society Idea Collectors notebook, a Society Idea Collectors Happy Mail. Maybe that's what I'll do, Terry. Instead of doing a drawing, let me just pick out this, because this is kind of a Society of Idea Collectors segment. That's what I'm going to label it as. Studio Chat and Society Idea Collectors 15, I think. I'll just put this in I'll draw a name out of the bowl. How about that? So you can take your washi tape, and these are the plastic embroidery floss, the same thing that I was using the ribbon for, the plastic, and you can just put your washi tape, and if you want to carry any washi tape around with you in your journals, or let's see, 3, 4, I usually put about 10, 5, 6. Okay. If you want to carry around any washi tape, you have the loop here. So if you wanted to just to hang it off your journals, you can just use it as almost like a charm, as a journal, art journal, 3, 4, 5, however many. I mean, you're obviously not going to put every single washi tape you have hanging off of there. But that one's real pretty, these florals. And another one that's, let's see, let's find another one that's kind of really pretty here. It's a black floral. That's almost the same. Let me find a different one. Here's some little hearts. I think I sent some of these out. Some little hearts. Ombre, pink and orange. Little hearts. So we'll put a little envelope together here for the Society of Idea Collector Gals. So I'm just going to wrap this about 10 times. That's about what I do. And we'll do a little giveaway. We'll put this in here. Isn't that a cute little giveaway right there? And that'll fit in a business size envelope. All right, let me get this big paper out of the way. I have the box of it under the table here. It's huge. All right, let's see. Here's the bowl. Oh, wait, I got 2 new people over here. Let me write them down. I haven't put their names in here yet. Let me get these 2 new people written down. Hang on. Where's my big Sharpie? Here we go. And I keep these little blank slips like this ready to go. I'm very organized. So let me write these 2 people. And I'll fluff it all up again. And I'll actually have 3 people. No, just 2. That's my notes on my video. That goes over here. That goes in another spot where I keep track of my vids. And this person is... So again, if I don't have... Only people that I have their addresses going here. Okay? If I don't have your address for the Society of Idea Collectors, and here's everybody that's in the Society of Idea Collectors, if I have your address, your name is in here. Unless I've already done a drawing and you've already won, then after everybody gets a go, I'm going to keep pulling from here till all these are gone. Then I'll put everybody's names back in again. Does that make sense? Okay, so here we go. I'm going to cover this up and just kind of fluff here. I'm going to fluff and just go down here in the bottom and pick one name. Mandy Arnold. So Mandy, I don't know who she is. She's she might be on YouTube. She might be Messenger. She just might be a lurker. But she's in the Society of Idea Collectors. So Mandy Arnold is going to get this little pack. So yeah, I love doing the little giveaways. So, all right, so back to our binder now. Not enough for, yeah, I have a lot. I don't have as much as Janet, but I have a lot of washi. Okay, so now let's put this binder back over here, and hopefully the light will brighten back up. There we go. And so this is the page that I'm working. I've got a plan for. These are just some lemons. What I kind of want to do, I really need to look up a lemon. How many seeds? Let me just look up a lemon, because I'm not sure how many seeds are. Is there 3 or 5, or how many seeds? I would like to do this like a real lemon. Lemon. Google Images. All right. Okay, so if you cut it, they always have the lemons cut this way. I need to see one cut this way. Doesn't anybody ever cut a lemon like that? I guess they don't, right? I'm looking at all the lemons here, and they're all cut in half, so you see it in a spiral look. But I want a lemon cut this way. I don't see one cut that way. Really? Nobody ever cuts a lemon lengthwise? Well, I didn't think that would be a problem to look that up. Okay. Well, anyway, I'll just want to give you an example. I wanted a lemon in half, but everything I see is sliced, right? Lemon slices. But I just kind of want to do some kind of a, with seeds in it. Yeah, well, Eileen, I think I'm going to say something to the effect of, you know, life gives you lemons, make lemonade. I say just grow more lemons. Anyway, grow your own lemons. So that's kind of what I got going on there. All right, so now we're going to go over here to the binder. This is where I will keep my finished pages. Now, most of my pages are in parts and stages because, let me get over here to my, because I'm doing them in, I'm doing them for you guys. Let's brighten this up. Why did it get so dark? There we go. Yeah, grow a tree. There we go, Terry. I'm going to write that down. Grow a tree. That says it nicer. Let me just put lemonade, grow a tree. Okay, so you can see I'm going to want little tabs on all my pages. Now I have not done, well, I think I did 1 week thing. I haven't taken apart my calendars to do some samples for you of a whole week, but I did keep some here. I kept some just tagged right here. A little 2017, here's November. And again, here's some of my, this is my personal hand-carved Society of Idea Collectors stamp. We did that on the show. We did this on the show a couple weeks ago. Bye, May. Thanks for stopping. Sorry I'm not coloring today, May. It was hectic this morning. I barely made it here. But here's some of the, and I'm going to just show, I cut these out to use for some examples. Like here's, they're not even in order. There's 5, 9, 8, 7. So I cut out a bunch of the little squares out of the calendar, right? And what you'll want to do is if you don't want to do cut up a calendar, make your own little squares. You can make them a little bigger. You can make them a lot bigger. Now, I did them with marker here so you could see them, but you don't have to have them outlined in marker where the marker shows. However, I have done one in here where I outlined the squares with a Sharpie. Okay, so permanent marker. So there's a little November in 2017. So if you're going to make your own squares, don't do it with a Sharpie like this. If you want to outline it with a Sharpie, do it after the fact. Because if you do it like this, it's not going to be even when you cut it. You're going to have some edges are not going to even show up black because you've got them all, attached, right? So just do them in pencil and then outline them. You can write your dates like, I would do something like my own script handwriting, like there's Thursday, and I can't get too close. And then you could stamp or draw your own letters, whatever. I don't know if Thursday was the first. I'm just doing an example. And then what you can do, you can use your pencils, you can use your markers, you could do your Sharpie, and you could, color your own borders. You can decorate just like a planner, guys. You know how to do planners. There's enough out there on planners. Okay, but you can decorate your little days any way you want. So whether you cut them out of a calendar and use the pre-printed calendar ones, or if you make your own, whatever, you can make them larger. Here's a larger one. So if you wanted to do it larger, let's do a thicker. This might be too thick. Let's see if I can do this. Do as fancy smancy as you want. See? And then you can border it. However you want your squares. Now, if you're going to do a big one like this on your page, then this will probably be a special day page. You know, Thanksgiving or something. You'll have a big square. You might want to write information in that square. If you're going to do a whole bunch of days, then you want to have to keep them small enough to keep on your 8.5 by 11. Or if you're doing a 12 by 12, you got more real estate to play with. So however you want to do your little day squares. Okay? So I got my little stack of samples there. Okay, so let me get over here, and I just have these divided out. I don't have a lot in it yet, right, because they're just samples for you guys. Okay, so here's the first one that I did. And again, it's a nice sample. I just wrote date. I just cut my daily out here. But I made my own lines. Now, I did this on purpose. I personally would probably not draw lines on my where I'm journaling, okay? If I'm going to journal on the actual page itself, I don't put a lot of lines. If you don't like lines but you want to write straight, draw them in pencil and erase them. If you like the lines, and just make you some lines with a pen, and then you can write everything here. This I just kind of made as a little cover page. Here's one of those angel Christmas cards. This is one of the wings. This is a silhouette cutout, scrapbook paper, scrapbook paper, painty on the back, and then I got more little lines down here. Again, I'm doing a lot of these pages for extra pages for you guys for examples. What did Jean say now? Okay. I'm going to be making quite a few sample pages for you guys that I may or may not fill out every page. But I want you to see all kinds of options. Again, I put a yellow tab on here, a pink paper clip, because my whole theme here is kind of like those colors, right? The black, the yellow, the pink, a little bit of red. But anyway, so the other reason that you might want to put, let's just say this was my December page. For a week in December. Then what I can do is take my week's worth of squares. Okay, I can take my week's worth of squares and just tuck them in right there. And then as things go during that week, I can continuously build on this page. Jean's ignoring you. Then you'll have your little week in squares, ready to write whatever happened that day, but you'll have them tucked in and ready to go. Does that make sense? And this is just a small paper clip, if you want one of the bigger ones, like the big fluffy one. So you can have your squares ready to go. Okay, so what else do I have in here? I got a couple, just nothing really going on yet. This is the robot page. I have not written, I want to write in here a quote or something about being yourself. I could just write my own journaling, or I can find a quote. But here, let me take it out of the book. Here's my finished robot page. So the first week in November, it started on a Wednesday. So there's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday squares. Okay? Again, I haven't filled all this out because I just haven't had time, and I'm just doing this for you. You like the paper clips, me? Yeah. So these are some of those leftover stickers I told you about. These are the robots I cut out of the vintage how to collect things, and robots were one of them. I drew my own little antennas. I drew all different kinds of antennas, but on one robot I did my Society of Idea Collector stamp. This is one of those little transformer things, and I drew a little robot face. There's my Mona, who is my muse, peeking out of the back. I glued down just off the calendar the word November. I stapled in, look, new Society of Idea Collecting Ideas. I put that on. That was what I did on the first, and then whatever I do on the second, third, fourth. And you can either glue these, staple them, punch them, tape them, washi tape them if you want to move them around. Let's go back to, let's see, that first one. So let's say instead of paper clipping them, you might want to, let's get a pretty, which washi tape do I want to use? I like one of those floral ones we're talking about. So let's take a piece of washi tape here, if I can find the end. You can just use anything. Use all the stuff that we all have, everything that's sitting around. So if you want to take, let's just do 3 of them here. If you don't know where you want your little squares to be yet, you could just tape them all down for a minute. Let's get one more. So you can just take your washi, and you can leave them like this. You know, you could leave them like this, or you could just have them, you know, temporary. See? So you can move, and then let's just say you want to write on this one, then you want to stick it somewhere, you're not sure yet where it's going to go on your page. Then just, I mean, just all this right here. I love this just like it is. Yeah, that's what I kind of wanted to do, Meep, is have the dividers, like have 12 dividers. I've only got, I think, 8 here now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, there's 8 in this pack. But you could do one a month. That's my thought. Have one a month for the dividers, and then your weeks, every page I'm going to have a paper clip on. I just like the way that looks. You know, I just like the way it looks with lots of paper clips. You don't have to do that, but, you know. So here's like, you know, week 1. Could be whatever. You know, again, this is my sample pages for you guys. All right, so the robot one is finished, except for journaling. I'm going to journal right over the BU. And again, I left these out to show you. These are those giant foam stamps. Those big foam stamps that we've had forever, and they come in. I've got drawers of these in all different sizes. I probably have 20 different alphabets in these foam stamps. Never use them anymore. Well, now we're going to use them. So I just put some acrylic paint on, stamped out BU. Don't be a robot, BU, and then I'm going to kind of maybe outline that. Depending, I don't know if I want to outline it or not, because I'm going to journal right over the top of this. So if I journal over the top of this, I don't want any other lines on this. It's kind of like a background, right? So there's my little robot page with my, with my Mona Muse stamp sticking out of the back. I mean, sticker sticking out of the back, and my robots. How you like how the whole thing looks? Yeah. And again, guys, it can be any style. I like kind of messy, anything goes kind of style, because that's kind of how I left off in my scrapbooking. And I don't do a planner. I have planners. That I keep up with things, but it's not like a daily planner. It's not, I don't write down everything I do every day. I just don't do that. If you want to do that, you are more than free to fill these little blocks out. You could have 2, 3, 4 blocks for the day, or have one big block for the day or the week. But my idea is to have, and because November, the first week of November only had 4 days. It ended on Saturday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So there's only 4 on here. Okay. So the second week in November, we'll have a full week. You know, they'll have 7, right? on them. But if you do one a week, you will have 52 pages at the end of the year. You'll have 52 of these. However, that being said, you might have some special, and oh, and you can do the backs too. And here's ink went through. I don't care, but use what you be aware of what might go through. I used red ink and it went through. Acrylic paint. Here's what I used acrylic paint. I think this was acrylic paint. Yeah, acrylic paint is not going to go through your page. Okay. Most things won't go through your page, but this is like Liquitex red ink. So it did kind of bleed through. But you could also do a back and front. So if you don't want 52 pages, or if you want a full year in a book, but you're going to have special pages, then you can do front and back. Okay, you can do front and back. So this was what I did for Veterans Day. These were some vintage dolls out of the collecting book. And you can find all this stuff everywhere, guys. Look at free clip art online, vintage, you can find anything like this. And the benefit of printing out your own on even just copy paper, because you want it kind of thin, so that if you get too much heavy cardstock stuff, it's going to start really bulking up, right? Which again, no problem if that's the kind of book you like, but you probably won't get a year in a binder. Unless you have a 4 or 5 inch thick binder, which I've got some of those too. But anyway, so I just started with the little blue patch and some splattered red, because I wanted this to be red, white, and blue, right? These were cut out of that. That's just a little flag out of a magazine. That's a postage stamp. I even kept the envelope right there. See the envelope piece? These are stars that were, and I had that here. Those were, came across these. There's some stamps and embossed. So they're just these little stars. So I just cut those out, put 3 of them on there. This is a little piece of washi tape, the blank washi tape, Jane Davenport, this stuff here. You can buy it. It's just blank washi tape. So I just put a little bit of cream color to knock back the white. Some cream color paint on there, a wash, and then just wrote in my own hand, remember, with the Sharpie. Put the date right there, and then up under here I have a couple tabs. This one really doesn't go in here. I put that in there as an example. If you don't want to write a bunch of information on a card and have it glued down, then you can just paper clip it up underneath, right? So everything doesn't have to be glued down. You can just paper clip it, staple it, whatever. But it could actually go right here, right? So I wrote a couple of quotes down about being brave. I made a little tab that says brave, freedom is never free, and then a couple of quotes, one by Alexander Hamilton. There's a certain enthusiasm in liberty that makes human nature rise above itself in acts of bravery and heroism. So I just wrote that down in my own hand, and a couple of different quotes. Here's some more washi tape right there. A little remember word from Tim Holtz, Pack of Words. And then that's just tucked up under there. My little tabs. And then if I want to write anything else, I could put it on here and tuck that in there. And it's just tucked in there with the paper clip, right? Yeah, you're going to look at magazines different. Exactly. See, when I started doing tons of collage and altered books, you look at it all differently. And I always tell y'all that when we're doing altered books, collage, mixed media collage, turn things sideways, turn them right side up, upside down. If you're going to do, especially a collage where you want the imagery to be manipulated, look at it all different ways. In this case, I just wanted it like this, but. So this was my Veterans Day. So what this will be is, let's just say for an example, this is my November week 1. Okay, November week 1. And then I'll have a November week 2. November 11th falls in week 2. So this page will be behind week 2. Does that make sense? So if you have special days, Christmas, Thanksgiving, you know, you're doing somebody's birthday, you go to a birthday party, you take a trip, and you have extra, you know, you go to the Eiffel Tower, you want a special page for that. So it may not fit on your general week of whatever, but do a special page for that and put it behind that week. You know, and you know, depending on how ambitious you get, I figure just doing one a week is going to be pretty ambitious, right? So if you do special pages, you know, by G and hi and bye G, if you do special pages for the week, then you'll have more, right? And you know, right now I have this, I think this binder is 2 inches. I might end up going to a 3-inch binder if it gets really thick at the end of the year. Okay, so all I have in here though is just cardstock. Blank cardstock right now. All blank cardstock ready to go for the year. I don't want to pre-paint. I mean, I might do a little splash here and there and say, okay, for Christmas I'm going to pull out a red page. Or for, you know, Easter I'm going to pull out a pastel color page or whatever, right? But don't over plan your week to the effect that all you got, oh, I got to use a purple page on Thanksgiving week. I don't want to use purple on Thanksgiving. You see what I'm saying? So I wanted to steal a Vogue from Doctor's Office. Dress of Figures. Well, you know what? I tell you, if you ask most doctors and waiting areas, especially if those magazines are 2, 3, 4, 5 months old, if you ask them, can I have that magazine? They'll tell you can. You know, they'll let you have it. Or tell them, hey, can I have that magazine, and next time I come in, I'll bring 2 or 3 of my own and leave them here, you know. Anyway, okay, so here's another example that I did with lots of lines. Again, me personally, I might use lines like this, but I'm personally not going to probably hand draw a lot of lines because I like the look of no lines. And I can write pretty straight without lines, but a lot of people love the look of lines. And you can do your lines funky. Here, let me get this page over here that I have a plan for the lemons, but let's take this page. Okay, and let me get a big Sharpie here. You can do journaling lines all kind of funky ways. I think Tisha Moore is the one that probably started these funky kind of lines. I think that's the first place I ever saw them anyway. Was, you know, Tisha Moore would do some skinny ones, some crooked ones, some, you know. And then you journal like on here. And your lettering will be all different sizes. You see? Let's do I really want to do them in a color. Let me get a color Sharpie here. We'll just go with red because it'll. No, I'm going to do lemons. I think I'll go with the green. Okay, and, you know, here's the kids Crayola markers, the cheap ones. But you can just do. And what was it Eileen said here? Lemon. Grow it, or Terry said grow a tree. I'm just going to write that in here. I'm just going to write grow. Just so you can see the idea. And like I said, I think the first person I ever saw do any kind of funky journaling like this was Tisha Moore. But you see, you don't have to do neat, perfect writing. You can do funky writing like this, right? And then I might do, that's too big, I might do something like one of these leaves, and maybe a lemon or two. Where's my lemon? You know. I might put another, I don't know. I'm just kind of playing right here. So just so you can kind of see. Oh, and I had a bee here. A little bee. It's got some purple in it, so maybe I'll do some green and purple writing. So you can start a page just like this. And again, it was Tisha Moore, okay. And again, this could be a special page. It could be a day It could be a day you were having a bad day and you just, wanted to encourage yourself. So your square right here might just be the square for Wednesday, Thursday, and just put the square for that. And you might want to do a big square. You might want to do one of the little, just your day square. And you can outline this with your, Sharpies or whatever, and write journal on here. And if you don't want someone to see your journaling, then I think someone mentioned that last week, you could have something like this and have your journaling underneath, So just so you can kind of see some of the ideas here, right? Okay. And again, I will be putting tabs, and here's the one I had over here. I'm going to put tabs and paper clips on all my pages. And this is just, is it 60 or 90 weight? What is this, Janet? let me see the package over here. Yeah, this is 110 weight, but you can get 90 or 110, either one. It's just cardstock, right? And then these are just, copy paper thin. This is out of the color book. This is out of just copy paper, and so that you can layer things up. You like the look of the circle typewriting all around the page? Yeah, so you can do anything you want. That's the thing about this. Anything you want. Okay, so anyway, I put lots of lines here just to show you. You can journal all around your bits, your syllables. I don't know why I can't keep that in my head. You can journal all around your syllables. You can journal sideways. You can journal the front way. You can just journal around, like Eileen said, in a circle. This is just one of my silhouette cameo cutouts. That's a piece of scrapbook paper, Project Life card things. So yeah, and a paper clip and a tab. And again, you could write on your tab here the week of week 1, week 2, week 3. You can write your weeks on your tabs or make 2 or 3 tabs. This might just be decorative one. Put some washi tape. Put a separate big tab over here and write week 5, November, week 2, however you want to do it. It's totally up to your creativity. Here's one I'm starting. I just wanted to do something with yellow and purple. I just like, and that's a bright purpley blue. It's kind of, the camera's really wanting to not show that purple. But anyway, I just wanted to do something with yellow and purple and one of those flowers out of that scrapbook pack I showed you earlier, right? So this is one of those roses out of the scrapbook pack. I used a piece of washi tape for the stem, and then I put this butterfly and I said it just needs some more extension. So that's one of the Tim Holtz butterflies. And again, let me show you some more examples. Let me get the bigger and the smaller. You can put one day, let's just say it's the 5th. You could put a little yellow border around this, purple border, whatever. Tag it in there and journal. What did you do today on the 5th? Journal. That's why I kind of like having a central theme, and it doesn't have to be right in the middle. Think about all your scrapbook layout compositions over the years. Maybe you want a little square up here, a little something here. Maybe you want a little something here. Maybe you want it right in the middle and journal all around. But use your little paper clips and things like this to just tab it in, right? And then if you want to do more of your full week, that purple looks nice as blue. Okay, love the butterfly in the blue. Yeah. Okay, so again, these are not in any kind of order. They're just some of the squares. But let's just say you have your squares, and you might want to just put, maybe you want to border them so they stand out, and then just stack your whole week. Stack your whole week down the side here. You can get all 7 days in the week. I'm out of little things here. I moved them on, all 7 days of the week on there. And journal on this side. You see how it works? You see how you can do it any way you want? And by having your movable days where you can move these from page to page or move them around your page, or not even tack them down at all, just, paper clip them all. There's your full week right there. Now, I would definitely recommend writing the day and the date on there, because if this came out of your paper clip, you're going to go, oh my God, where was that day? So if you're not using your little calendars, if you're not using the calendars with the day and date on it, make sure that you hand write it on there, like here I did, So if it does come out of your paper clip, you're not, lost. I was going to say something else, but yeah. Okay, so there's that. I got to keep using. I'm reusing the same week here. So again, you can journal, you can make lines, you can just write. I write tiny, so I could get a lot of journaling on one page, or your squares for your week. Okay, there's that. Here's another one. Write your own story, everyday moments. This was like a Project Life. I don't know if it's Project Life, but it's one of those type of quote cards. Okay, one of the quote cards. This was a little quote card. So I just put this together. This was out of that scrapbook pack I showed you. This is out of that scrapbook pack. Piece of washi tape, red behind there. So just kind of, put that together. Again, you can journal. You can move your days. This could be the week of whatever, and you can just stack your days however you want. You can have them go all the way around the page, however you want them. You can, and again, I made some bigger ones here just to show you. You don't have to use the calendar page. You can make your own squares. Okay? You can do the second and third and fourth up here, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth down here. You see, you can move your days all around your page. So you're not confined to little boxes on a page. Nothing wrong with that. Don't email me. But you can also do larger, one large thing. Or you can just write whatever your information from that day and tuck it up under your paper clip. I'm trying to show you as many different ways as I can, right? I'm trying to give you as many ideas as you can so you can make it your own. It's purple. Y'all are fighting over whether it was blue or purple? Oh, good grief. So, yeah. And I kind of like the messy splattery. You could do some drips. That would be real cool. So here again, I have a page started that's just pink, right? Put some of those flowers. Here's that flower I cut out. You can collect. You can collect your week's worth of stuff on a paper clip, and then build your page during the week if you want. Keep all your little weeks together, like that. So this one I started going with some teal bits, and you can do front and back, or you could do your week on one page and a special event on the back page. Or just, you can use the back page for, let's say you had a newspaper article you wanted to save. Okay, just that week you have some extra ephemera, ticket stubs, whatever. Use the back side as a smash book. So you'll have your planner on one side, your smash book on the back of it. So many ways you can do this, guys, that customize it for yourself. Here's just some paper that was it was either in Flow or in Daphne's Diary. I like that. I like the blue squish smush stuff. So let's see, what else do I have in here? A couple other things. Oh yeah, here's one for I want to do fall leaves. So these are some color book pages. I'm going to color these red, yellow, and orange and use them as a base. This will probably be one of my November pages. Maybe this might be no, this isn't going to be my Thanksgiving. I have another one for that. But here's the nice thing about it. So let's say I do this page. I've got all these other pages I've started. Well, if I want to now, I can move this page over to November. So you can shift things around, right? Here's a red one I'm going to start for Christmas. I've loved up there a red and green There's a green paper clip with the red ribbon. I'll probably use, and so you can do a little bit ahead of time like this if you just want some color on the page. But if you don't get too many of them, because then you're going to say, well, I don't really want red right now. I want, you know. But a few pages like this in your book will inspire you because you got something on the page, so you're not so intimidated. You know, you're not so intimidated by a blank page. And then you got your stickers and your stencils and you got your binder of syllables. So now if I want to go and do something, I can flip through my binder and pull things out to put on my weekly page. Here's some stuff I got pulled for Thanksgiving. I have a couple of turkeys. This is some old scrapbook paper. I found it in that big bin of collage stuff. So I'll probably use this for Thanksgiving. I also have some issues with the football. So to me, football is behind the 8 ball. But anyway, so this might be part of my Thanksgiving page. Or, you know, you can move it around. Maybe there's just a little bit of this, a little that, a little of this. You know, however you want to, you know, whatever. You can do whatever. Say what you want. It's your journal. It's your planner. It's your syllable. Okay? So, yeah. And then on this one, I have some orange and like green. You know, it's kind of a ombre-ish piece of leftover sari silk. You like that, Terry? A little and an orange or reddish orange paper clip. So you know you can kind of coordinate your tabs and paper clips and whatever. So I got that. So again, I think that's all I got really to show you right now. The rest is all cardstock, ready to go. You can get a pack of cardstock at Staples, Walmart for about, I don't know, $5 for 90 or 110 weight. Okay? So there is an update on the syllable binder and the syllable, what do you call it? Syllables, the little syllables themselves. And then this has got its own binder because this is going to be full by the end of the year. You know, I'm not sure if this is 100 sheets. 80, I don't know, anyway. And then I got some file folders in the back just to put some stuff in if something happens and I want to keep some stuff in a file folder. I got a couple file folders back in the back just to keep, you know, cutouts, newspaper articles, whatever. You know, I just got a place to stick them in here until I get to it. So if you keep a couple of file folders or you know, some kind of a plastic pocket or something like that in the back that you can just throw things in, you know, even if it's just something like this, you know, throw some things in until you get to it, right? So again, this is so far my syllable. This is a separate, I know I got a notebook for everything. This is my syllables idea collecting. So this is where everything that I'm talking about for syllables is all in here, including, here is the, now this was a little longer than Pacola. I told Pacola, I said, send me that description again of the syllable binder. Well, she lengthened it. She didn't keep it. I just wanted the one sentence, so she sent me 2 emails. She goes, oh wait, this one's updated. So this is what Pacola wrote. Syllable journal. A collection of bits of anything that speaks to us or sparks our interest, organized into a binder or book, ready to be used in creating pages for calendars, journaling, art, and all our other visual ideas. Our Society of Idea Collectors Syllable Journal will help in developing our own unique creative voice. So Pacola sent me that, and so I stuck that in here too. So this is all the things that I got going on, writing them down for the Syllable Journal. Bye, Terry. Have a good weekend. I'm heading out too because I got errands to run. Okay, so again, I am going to try to let me readdress this again in case you weren't here. Y'all know that we did part 2 of the Dragon Tales on Wednesday. This video will not upload onto YouTube for whatever reason. So the blank flip through the book, the part 1 is on there. Part 2, which is this one, will not upload to YouTube. So if you want to watch this video, part 2, it's 2.5 hours long, you have to go to Ustream to watch it. For whatever reason, a glitch in the files, who knows. But it is on Ustream. That being said, you cannot watch recordings on Ustream on a device without using, Jean says it's called Puffin. Puffin browser. It's a Apple browser, I guess. And if you have that, you can watch Ustream recordings on your phone, iPad, whatever. So I'm so sorry that this did not get uploaded. But and it also had my little sample, had my little hair sample in there too, for this page. So what I plan to do is sometime over the weekend, I'm going to do a video describing everything we did here as best as I can tell you, and then going ahead and finishing this book. And it will be part 2/3 because 2 didn't upload. And then I might also, I might also work on her. So that's kind of my weekend plan. Maybe I'll try. If not, we'll do it next week. And yeah, so that part 2 did not get put up on YouTube. And people are asking me, where's part 2? I'm waiting on part 2. Well, sorry guys, I just could not get. I tried 5 times. I tried 3 times on Wednesday night and 2 times on Thursday. That video is stuck on Ustream, and that happens to all of us Ustreamers at time to time. For whatever reason, a file gets messed up and you can't get it to upload. So, all right, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed that. A little, talking more about, and I will call this Studio Chat and Syllables Society of Idea Collector number 15, something like that. And hopefully this video will have no issues being uploaded later today. So, and again, don't forget about the Streamathon. Here's going to be my project. This huge book thing is going to be my project for the New Year's Streamathon, which, yeah, if you want to check, peruse the awesomeness that is the musicalscrapper.blogspot. She is going to be posting a full schedule of all the streamers, 24-hour Streamathon on New Year's Eve. I doubt that it's completed yet, but just so y'all know where to go look to see where all the streamers' links will be for the 24-hour Streamathon, and Jean just put it in there too. So y'all grab that link. Oh, that's Jean's Ustream channel there. Yeah, so Jean is a musical scrapper on Ustream, and blogspot.ca for Canada, because she's in Canada, for the Streamathon schedule. All right, guys, we all have a great weekend. I will see you Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all the usual. So y'all have a great weekend, and we'll see you later. Bye, guys.